Welcome to the open pit, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. T with the most. Getting ready to take y'all around the coast. How y'all doing today, fellas?
Good, good.
All's well, King.
All right,
Good,
all right.
good.
I got Ed Lee, aka Ed Lover, representing them Eagles. What's up, Ed Lover?
Everything's good, man. Nothing to do on a Saturday, but enjoy.
For sure, for sure. All right. Got Dre from the Bay, representing them Niners. What's up, baby?
It's better than last week, but but that's why I'm in black. Uh,
Hey, I wear in black all week long, dog.
uh, but that's all good. How's everybody?
Good, good.
yes,
All
sir.
right.
Good.
Got Kurt, aka Kurt Murder, representing B More. Them Ravens in the house. What's up, Kurt?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yo. Hey, man, I bought a little something else today, man. So, I'm switching gears. You know what I mean? Like, still Raven season. You know what I mean? Like, we still doing that. We still got a lot to talk about in the upcoming uh off season with the Ravens and whatnot. But now it's the Phoenix Suns, right? I don't really do anything basketball until after the freaking All-Star game. So here we go. Let's go. Let's do it.
Gotcha. I have all my gear on the next episode for you. All right, let's get the party started. Before we even get started, man, I'm going to put my disclaimer out here, man. Uh, Only person I'm blaming for our loss is Kyle Shanahan, man. We had three possessions in the third quarter. Um, Kansas City got the ball back. We got an interception on their side of the field. Kyle Shanahan with three straight passes. We got a penalty, had a punt. Second possession, we stopped them again, get the ball back, three passes, three and out, had a punt again. Matter of fact, let me back it up. On the first possession, we had the ball 59 seconds, negative 1 yard. Second possession, we had ball a minute 43 seconds, negative 1 yard. Third possession, we got the ball. We had one run, two passes, 0 yards, a minute 2 seconds. For the whole third quarter, we had the ball 3 minutes and 44 seconds. Kansas City had the ball for 11 minutes and 16 seconds for the whole third quarter. You know what I mean? You can't win like that. Both teams had two turnovers. Um, the play calling for Kyle Shanahan, I don't know what was going on. We was averaging 3.5 a run. You know what I mean? On the run. You know what I mean? But he's pass happy. But I'm gonna pass the mic, man. You know what I mean? I'll try to get that off my chest real quick. Oh, one more thing. It's not Steve Wilkes' fault. It's not Steve Wilkes' fault. I'm sorry.
Nah,
It's
definitely
not his
not.
fault. He was just a scapegoat. Kyle Shanahan had to blame somebody. But guess what? He's on the clock now. You know what I mean? He gotta make some changes. His job's on the line coming up. So I'm gonna pass the mic. Dre from the Bay. I know you got a lot to say, man. I'm gonna let you go ahead and start it off.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and you'll probably all disagree, but I disagree with everything you just said.
Okay.
Uh, I don't necessarily blame Kyle Shanahan. He's part of it, but his play. See, everybody looks at those first three possessions, but the stats don't dictate the situation. So I'm gonna go through each possession real quick. The first one, you got an interception. What do teams do when they get a turnover? They try to strike. Same thing would happen when we fumbled the punt. Kansas City had the ball one play, boom, touchdown, because that's what you try to do. So they passed on first down, incomplete. Second down, they had a legal procedure. Now it's second and 15. That changes the dynamics of what you're going to do. So you're not running the ball at second and 15 when you're only averaging 3.5 a yard, a carry. Because even if you get that 3.5, it's still third and 12, third and 11. Second possession, they ran a screen play to Jennings, lost 8 yards. Now it's second and 18. When you're supposed to run on second and 18. The third possession, they ran on the first possession, ran on the first play. McCaffrey got stuffed for no yards. Now it's second and 10. This is the only time where you can say, you know what? You had two 3 and outs, At least try to take some time off the clock on running the ball. Even if you don't get a first down, you're in some clock. I can maybe agree on that one. But this whole narrative that he stopped running the ball, the situation dictated that he stopped running the ball. Steve Wilkes was not made a scapegoat. Steve Wilkes was going to get fired whether they won that Super Bowl or not. Y'all keep forgetting that people was ready for him to go in mid-season and then they forced him to come out the booth onto the sidelines. The timing was horrible. The optics were worse than horrible because it makes it seem like you scapegoating this guy. But let me ask you a question. If they don't come back and beat Detroit, you think he was still going to be around after he's got jack blasted in the first half and you down by 17 points? No. And the week before that, you was down to the Green Bay Packers. Your defense didn't show up. So yes, they played well in the Super Bowl until it was time to play well. My whole thing with that game, your offense gave you the lead twice to say, hold these fools to no points and we're Super Bowl champions. The end of regulation and in OT. And you couldn't do it. My last thing is this whole narrative that, how can you not punt, start OT? That's subjective. That's like saying, why didn't you call heads and it ended up tails? Because to me, it's not a no-brainer. Because number one, your defense had just been on the field for how long to end the game? 2, I understood his theory. You get the ball, you score, now you force them to have to score, and then even if they score, you get the ball back with what's it called, in sudden death. The only reason this is even being questioned is because whoever that was on the right side missed the block, didn't block Chris Jones. Because if it blocked Chris Jones, he hits Brandon Ayuk wide open in the middle of the end zone and game over. There was 4 things that I blame on this game. McCaffrey's fumble in the first possession, we marching down the field. The missed extra point, the botched punt return, and was it a fluke to hit off the guy's foot? Yeah, but it wasn't a fluke that McLeod tried to scoop it and run instead of just falling on the damn football, which is what you taught to do from Pop Warner. You fall on the ball, the possession is worth more than anything else. And he tried to scoop and run and he bobbled it and lost it. And then the missed block on Chris Jones. Any one of those 4 plays gets made, the 49ers win the game. Then you can get into the unfortunate thing of Greenlaw, which, they showed the numbers. Kelsey was getting dealt with first half. Second half, he went off because why? Greenlaw was off the field. You can then get into whether or not you can get into some, Shanahan's play selection, debate on whether or not they should have kicked the ball. Because the other thing is, think about this in overtime. Let's say you give the ball to Kansas City first. Mahomes marches down the field for a touchdown. You got a second-year quarterback with the pressure of the entire world to now not only score, but score a touchdown. So I just don't think it's this no-brainer that you got to kick that off and not give the ball to Mahomes, and that whole stuff that Kansas City, we would have went for 2 if we'd have scored a touchdown and they had scored, we'd have went for 2 anyway. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I know they say that now, but if the situation really presented itself, would they actually have said, we either going to win the Super Bowl or we're going to lose it on this play? I don't know. We won't know. I just feel like that was the most disappointed I've been in a game since I was at the NFC Championship game, 1990, Roger Craig fumble loss to the Giants, trying to three-peat. This is worse because that team was three-peating. This team is no-peating. We've lost. We went from 5-0 in the Super Bowl to now 5-3, and so it was just unfortunate. But I've been pissed all week with all these different narratives. Shanahan deserves some blame, but I just don't. I'm looking at the game and the events surrounding play selections. It's on paper it looks bad. Eight plays, one run, took no time off the clock, but that was because the situations that presented themselves. And lastly, our playmakers didn't show up. That's starting with Trent Williams, Deebo Samuels, George Kittle, even McCaffrey. Yeah, he had 80 yards, but that was on like 20-something carries. He wasn't busting, and he fumbled in scoring position. So nobody that we counted on offensively showed up, except for maybe Purdy, and he missed some passes. So that's my thoughts. And
let me ask you this. So with the play selection that Kyle was running that whole game compared to the regular season, it was night and day. I don't know what Kyle. His game plan wasn't on point. His game plan was not on point. He didn't show eye candy with Kittle. He didn't show you eye candy with Deebo. He didn't do anything. It was just regular San Francisco. I don't know what was going on. It's like right now we had the winning numbers lottery and we didn't play it. That's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? We had the winning numbers and we didn't play it.
I hear.
You know what I mean?
Think what gets missed is, does Kansas City were they playing by themselves? Can Kansas City's defense get some credit? Let's remember, they played the Miami Dolphins. Last I checked, their offense was pretty potent. They then went to Buffalo. Last I checked, their offense is pretty potent. Then they went to Baltimore. Last I checked, the MVP of the league was on that team. And they shut them all down. So why are the 49ers supposed to be any different? Let's give damn credit to Kansas City's defense. And we still scored enough points to win. If our defense does the exact same thing. Their defense, when it was time to shut down the 49ers, they did it. When it was time to shut down the Chiefs, they couldn't do it. They made 2 long drives back to back to end the game and in overtime. And that's that's all I'm saying is that, yes, the 49ers offense didn't look like it looked all season. Well, Kansas City shut down a whole lot of offenses all season. Their defense is better than people give it credit for. And their defense won that game for them. Mahomes is great. But the bottom line is their defense, Snead, McDuffie, they took out our wide receivers. Now, should they have worked over the middle? Yeah, but they told you, Snead said after the game, or was it before the game? I don't remember when they showed this quote. We said we were going to make Brock Purdy beat us. We got the offensive player of the year. You think that they're going to really let us just run the ball up and down on the field? No, they made a conscious effort to shut down McCaffrey, and he got what he could get, but it was all tough sledding. And so I hear what you're saying. Yes, their offense didn't look like it looked, but I give Spagnuolo and that defense credit. Sometimes you got to tip your cap to the opponent. Their defense made adjustments. Ours did not. It got worse. It got weaker as the game went on. That's all I'm saying.
When did they come alive? When did Kansas City come alive? They didn't come alive till that punt.
Exactly.
Punt.
Exactly.
So our defense had them on lock the whole game until that popped off. That's when the momentum changed.
I understand. But that don't mean you stop playing. But
no, I understand. I understand.
I hear that. I get that. That did change the momentum, and that was the only touchdown they had up until that point. They never drove until they had to drive, and they did it twice.
Yeah.
That's
momentum is over. You know what I mean? That's it. Once you lose that momentum, it's kind of hard because our defense was giving them the offense back the ball plenty of times, and we wasn't capitalizing. We was getting no points. You can't keep the
because we're
defense
not on the field by ourselves.
No, but what I'm saying, if the defense stopping the offense on KC side and putting it back in San Fran side, and they're not getting no points to expand that lead, that's not helping our case.
But the same thing, great. Our defense stopped their offense. Their defense stopped our offense. You know what I'm saying? It was tit for tat. And then all that said, the 49ers kicked a field goal that they asked their defense to stop them. They couldn't. We had overtime. They kicked another field goal. They asked their defense to stop them, and they couldn't. That's, all that stuff is great, but at the end of the day, you got to make plays, and our offense, like I said, didn't really make plays. Nobody. What was the big play? A reverse pass that technically should have got called back because we had a legal man downfield. You know what I'm saying? So that was our big play. Debo didn't show up. Kittle didn't show up. Ayuk was there, and now he whining. But it's like, and then people say, well, you were supposed to run the ball. McCaffrey had 30 touches. I don't know what more you wanted them to do. You dance like they say dance with who brought you. Well, they danced with McCaffrey, and Kansas City's defense was better than I gave them credit for. I mean, they did just hold Baltimore to 10 points in Baltimore. I mean, they did just beat Buffalo in Buffalo. I mean, when do we give the opponent credit? It's not always you lost the game. Sometimes you just get beat.
We're gonna come back to that.
Okay.
Welcome to the show, Dean, aka D. Webb, representing Cincinnati Bengals. What's going on, my brother?
Man, what's happening, man? Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
we can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Truly apologize, man, for that. Whatever. I get it.
All right.
What's happening, man, is the internet stuff is crazy, man. But
It's all good, man.
man. So piggyback on what he just said, man. KC's defense is really good. And I mentioned when we talked about in the last week, I was like, yo, if their defense can't show up, it's a wrap, man. But I want to talk about real quick Brock Purdy. Now, here's my thing on Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is a good quarterback. All right? He's a good quarterback. And that's as far as I want to go with him. There's levels to this, man. Mahomes is up here. Then there's everybody else. Then you got Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and I like Jalen Hurts. Then everybody else. Brock Purdy's not there. One reason is because he doesn't have enough body of work, man. You can't have a good year and a half and you trying to put him up there with other cats, man. He's good. He's going to be good. He may even be great. But he doesn't have the body of work for that. The way KC's defense was playing, if he could have been able to read some of the coverages and do a little bit better, but that just takes time, man. That just takes being in the game for a while and understanding and being able to see. He can't rush that process. We wish we could learn 10 grades worth of information in 2 weeks, but it doesn't work like that. He's going to have to take time. He'll get there. But I think that Brock Purdy showed that he's not that guy, man, in terms of being great. He's a really good quarterback. And if I was starting the team, I'll be happy to have him because he's good. He's going to be real good. But right now, he's just not there. So when he come across a defense like that, it happens, man.
Well, he went 23 38, 255, a touchdown. Our receiver wasn't getting no separation at all. Kansas City defense had him on lock.
You know what they'll see? They were at one point, I think they finished 4-13 on third down, but they were 2-10 at 13 for most of the game. And the last play when Chris Jones rushed him and made him force it, Ayuk was open in the back of the end zone.
Yeah,
Ayuk was wide open because the DB fell, but he missed that. That happens. What I'm saying is, I just think that they're trying to rush Brock Purdy. Let him get there, man, because sometimes when they put pressure on those guys try to do other things, and they start what they could be good and end up not being good, man, because that pressure is put on them. Let him mature, man. Dude's gonna be there. He's gonna be there. Because I thought he was gonna throw an interception and he didn't. So, I thought he would. He played well to me. He played well. Okay.
Kurt Murder, what's your thoughts on it, my man?
Yo, man, I definitely agree. Definitely agree with what Dre from the Bay and D Webb said, man. I think overall, I think it was a really good Super Bowl. I enjoyed it. Sitting there watching it, it started off slow. That the fumble from McCaffrey early in the game, I was like, oh boy, right? Like McCaffrey usually don't fumble the ball and stuff like that. So overall, I thought it was a great Super Bowl. Both teams showed up. Both quarterbacks showed up. We got what we wanted, right? Somebody had to win and somebody had to lose. So I'm gonna echo a lot of things Dre from the Bay and D Webb said, man. Like Dre, hey D Webb, I'm with y'all. We played them before y'all played them, and I didn't give that defense any credit. I thought we was gonna go out there and smash them, right?
Yep.
No, sir. That defense, for some odd reason, that defense stands up in the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Right? That they can look terrible all season. They can give up 30 points all season, but when they hit that playoff and Super Bowl run, man, teams not even scoring more than 17 points on them. And y'all put up what, 22?
Right.
Right.
And it took overtime to do that.
Exactly. That's true. That's true, yo. But that defense is really sneaky, really scary. And I totally agree with Dre from the Bay, man. I don't really hand out blames, man. Not for me, like it's a game, it's a sport. Like, right, you're gonna have these turnovers. Now you want to play mistake-free football, you know what I mean? Like that's gonna happen. Sometimes we can't figure out what the offensive coordinator or the defensive coordinators, head coaches are thinking, right? That was one of my biggest things when I always look back to that Baltimore Raven game. But for some odd reason, there's something that Kansas City defense does in the playoffs that make teams change their whole identity of what they were or who they were throughout the regular season. Not that y'all changed it, because I believe Christian McCaffrey had 22 or 23 carries. And I think I went on record like he needed to have like 25 carries. So he was just a little bit away from that. Not too much of changing the identity. But what they did was, Dre from the Bay said it, they took away those big plays. Kansas City defense is going to make you play check down game. They're going to make you, either you're going to beat them with time of possession, right? And that means you're going to have to score. When I think back to the two teams that I think own Kansas City, I want to say own them, but Cincinnati Bengals and the Raiders. The Raiders, I look back at some of the Raiders matchup with Kansas City. They run the ball down their throat. They smash them with time of possession. They keep Patrick Mahomes off to the sideline. And Cincinnati, they just got a elite quarterback, and they actually have some pretty good weapons, so they can go shootout for them. But their defense is pretty good. So like back to I think everybody just got to share the blame, right? Because outside of like Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey, I think overall everybody played pretty well. I don't think nobody didn't show up. Debo had the catches he had. They finally got Kittle. I think Kittle had 2 catches, 2 targets or something like that. So
2 catches, 4 yards.
Right?
Whoa.
But
4 yards.
Totally removed.
Right.
Totally taken out of the game.
Right. But that reminds me of Bill Belichick. I'm gonna take your weapons away from you and see what you can do without your weapons and how you're
Right.
going to beat.
Right.
Right. And I think that's what Kansas City, Steve Spagnuolo will draw up
Yep.
an
Yeah.
outstanding defensive game to take
Yeah.
your weapons away from you. And I think
Yep.
that was something that he did, and he did it well. But I'm all into sharing the blame, man. Like, I don't think there was one person on that team or one play to me that defined the game. I will go on record and say this. Me and my wife was watching it, and when they kicked that field goal in overtime, I said, that was the mistake. That was the mistake right there. I don't think, and I'm with you, Dre, I don't get into that whole bad decision on the taking the ball in overtime or punting it to Kansas City, because Kansas City was going to go and score. They was either going to get 3 or they was going to get 7, one of the two, right?
Right.
So y'all was going to get the ball back, and y'all was going to. I just think that field goal in overtime, they couldn't take that. It's either take no points, right? Go for it on 4th down, take no points, or score. Because Kansas City was going to go down there and score. They were either going to kick 3 or they was going to go for 7, which they did, right? Like they're 6 or what they did. So I believe that was the only mistake in that game, is kicking that field goal. Outside of that, I think it was a well executed game for the 49ers and for the Kansas City Chiefs. And yes, that Greenlaw injury hurt big time, because
he was
y'all
balling.
shut
He was
Kelsey
balling.
down. Shut him down in the first half. You know what I mean? Like, and once he got injured, it fell apart right there. What's his name? I think his name is Robinson or something like that. That came in and replaced him, number 47.
Burks.
Oren Burks.
They showed how on 2 previous plays he was staying under too long, and Kansas City, Travis Kelce leaked right out of the backfield, right, and beat him with the angle. I believe it was a running back that did the same thing. And guess what the play that won overtime was? Corn dog, right? It's the same play. He stayed under, wide receiver leaked out to the corner, touchdown. You know what I mean? Overall, man, I thought it was an outstanding game. I enjoyed watching it. Brock Purdy played amazing. D-Web, I am on record with you for now that I don't think right now Brock Purdy is great, but he doesn't have to be great.
No,
If they can figure, if
Right.
the 49ers can figure out how to keep a lot of those players there, you could possibly see Brock Purdy back in the Super Bowl next year.
Absolutely.
Possibly, right?
Absolutely.
I think
I don't want the young kid to get ruined, man. That's all.
Yeah.
Because it happens all the time. They rush guys, man, and it happens all the time. They get ruined because they're trying to do too much. I just don't want to get ruined.
You know, I think the one thing that he got going for him is Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan. He will develop some quarterbacks now. Any quarterback that has ever played under Kyle Shanahan had some really good years. You know what I mean? So like, he is into developing quarterbacks. He's gonna give you these quick schemed up plays that'll make you look really good.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think Brock Purdy is gonna be all right. I think it's just still too early to say that he won't be great or won't become an elite player, because I see elite in him. I definitely see elite in him.
Yeah, he has it. I agree.
His poise in the pocket, man. I thought me and you went on record last week and said he was going to give us a pick, and that boy did not throw a pick. He almost played a perfect game to me. You know what I mean? And I will say this. I think he played a perfect game, because you can't hit every pass. You know, there's really rare that quarterbacks go out there and put up a perfect QBR. Definitely in a Super Bowl, you know. So I thought he played a perfect game. He didn't turn the ball over. Great game manager. Like Cam Newton said, go back on record. Cam Newton is totally right about Brock Purdy being a game manager. And sometimes you need to have a game manager on your side. Everybody don't need to go out there and change the game. You know what I mean? So overall, good Super Bowl, great win by Kansas City. And damn, we got a dynasty on our hands. We got a dynasty on our hands, man.
All right, Kurt Murder. And love it. I know you ready to say something. Go ahead, baby. I see the smile on your face. What you got, brother?
Nah,
Here it goes.
Hold it back.
Hey,
Handcuff to start trouble today, yo.
hey, see, can I say something real quick before Ed gets started? Real quick.
Yeah.
It was some predictions on this thing, and I just want to go for the record that me and this cat in my corner was correct.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
I just want to put that. I'm just gonna throw that out there and roll it on out there so we can chop it up later.
All right, we'll chop it up.
I wish you still had internet trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's on me.
Yeah,
My bad. My bad. My bad.
He busy gloating.
Right.
Well, shoot, man. Let's see here, man. I'm glad I sat back and listened to everybody else first, man, because it's entertaining. It really is. One thing I'll say is, as far as like last part, when we gave our briefings on what we thought was going to happen, I will say this, just from the recent conversation, I did say that I thought that Brock Purdy was going to be the one that lost the game for the 49ers. And that didn't happen. I don't think that that he's supposed to be this big time quarterback right now. I don't think that anyone thinks that. However, I did think that his inexperience was going to be exposed at some particular point, and he had to stay in his lane. And I want to give him props for the simple fact that he didn't lose the game for the 49ers. It was not his fault. He stayed in his lane. He did miss a couple throws that I felt like he should have hit. He missed a couple short throws, and I was like, man, you had time to hit that throw. You're a quarterback. But however, he stayed poised, like everyone said. He didn't lose the game. I did feel like, even though, as Dre from the Bay said, on paper, and I think that was a major topic, last week, on paper, 49ers should win. However, I feel like the difference in the two teams was in the 49ers, all of your main playmakers are on different positions. The main playmaker and the best player on the team for the Chiefs is the nucleus of the team, and he's extremely experienced. And I thought that's what was going to even them out. And I feel like that's why the spread was okay too, because clearly 49ers had more talent. I feel like they definitely had more talent. But like I said last week, I felt like it was going to come down to a big play that was going to be needed to be made, and it wasn't going to be made. However, so Brock Purdy did not lose the game. I felt like the Kansas City Chiefs just pretty much took their heart kind of in the second half and just kind of like slowly beat them down to the point where it was like they didn't know what was going on. At the end of the game, in overtime, I don't think it mattered which one they chose because it was even. They both was going to get a chance to, possess the ball, period. So I don't think it really mattered because it was going to be even. So I'm not really, like I say, as far as, I love you guys' passions. I understand your pain. Your teams were in the Super Bowl and the opportunity just got snatched away. I get that. You know what I mean? I feel you guys' pain, man.
You twisting, bro. You twisting.
I want to say I'm here for you. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
But yeah, I'll say
that,
that,
man.
I don't think that Brock Purdy, I felt like he was poised and played his game. He's only going to get better. I feel like the Deebo Samuels looked injured to me. I felt like that kind of was a factor because he didn't show up. He did not show up. Whether or not they weren't throwing the ball to Kittles or whether or not, either way, he didn't get the touches I felt like he should have got. McCaffrey, I felt like did the best he could because they were leaning on him. Right. I felt like the pressure, that's the way the cards stacked. And it came down to 49ers had to make a play, which is what big players got to do, what good teams have to do. And they didn't do it. It's like my man Dre from the Bay said, and when he said it, it just hit home, especially with him being a 49er fan. I mean, they just got beat. You know what I mean? Whatever happened to good old fashioned, you just got beat. It was a great game though, but I felt like in the end, Kansas City was going to win, and that's exactly what happened. So,
yeah,
y'all blaming Taylor Swift?
I'm blaming Taylor Swift. I'm blaming her. Going on record today.
CMC did everything he's supposed to do. He had 22 yards, 22 carries, 80 yards, 8 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
How many yards for catches?
80.
He had 80 yards receiving?
80 yards receiving and 80 running. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. He did what he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? But
Spags,
coaching.
Spags.
We didn't make no adjustments.
No.
I mean, Webb, you good?
Don't look like it.
Yeah, he's gonna zone out. Yeah,
I'm about to go out too.
It came down to coaching experience too, man. Andy Reid been there before. You know what I mean? He just, Kyle, I don't know. Go ahead, Dre. Go ahead. I'm pick up right there. Coaching.
You just said it. Do I blame Shanahan for the loss? No. Do I think he got out coached? Yes. And not just him. I think our coaching staff in general got out coached. I think Spagnuolo out coached our offensive coordinator, which is Shanahan, and Andy Reid out coached our defensive coordinator, Wilks. I just think that there's something about having been there before. When I looked at this, like I said, what has hurt me about this whole thing is that your window in the NFL especially don't stay open long.
That's true.
And this team's been to 4 NFC championships, 2 Super Bowls with this nucleus, with the exception of now, this is Purdy's first 2. But so there's only so long this window's going to stay open. But sometimes you just are in the wrong era. You just, it's like the whole LeBron versus Jordan argument. And people look at the championships. But I always say, even though I love Jordan, but I also defend LeBron. I say, because LeBron has played against 2 dynasties in their prime, Spurs and Warriors. Take away them 2 teams, LeBron could have 10, 12 rings. You see what I'm saying? So John Stockton, Karl Malone would have rings if it wasn't for Michael Jordan. And so the 49ers, unfortunately, are going against the dynasty in Kansas City. Just like the Buffalo Bills, lost 4 Super Bowls. It's hard to get there. The problem with the Super Bowl, I'm one of those people. Personally, I wish they'd have lost to Detroit. And then rather take me there to the altar and say no right there when the preacher said, "Do you take this man to be your beloved husband?" I'd have rather them just lose to Detroit, and I'd be pissed about them not making Super Bowl than go there and lose. Losing a Super Bowl is the absolute worst thing around. My Raven brother don't know nothing about that because every time they go, they win.
We win.
And I was like that for many years. 49ers was 5-0. But when you lose a Super Bowl, my whole week been jacked. I was sick anyway all last week with the flu. I got off my halfway deathbed to watch this damn game, and then they lose it. And so my week been jacked all week. And then and now I got to have Raider fans, Cowboy fans, teams who've been watching the game they've been watching the whole playoffs unfold. And now I'm just gonna tell you this and I'm gonna pass the mic. This is how I am. My line is I only eat what I kill. Okay. If my team didn't beat your team, I ain't got nothing to say. I may root against your team. But I'm not gonna be on Facebook like ha 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 y'all lost when my team been home for the last 2 months. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
I'm like, excuse me. I'm sorry. Did we lose to the Dallas Cowboys? I could have sworn they got bounced in the first round. You know what I mean? And so I've never got down like that. It's always been a pet peeve. I hate people eating off somebody else's plate. If you didn't kill it, you can't eat it. That's all I have to say. So that's just my 2 cents. To your question, coaching, yes, I coaching won this game for Kansas City.
Every call I got, every text message I got from a Cowboy fan, nobody else but Cowboy fans was texting and calling me.
My Raider
about
fan
that.
Cousins was doing it to that.
Didn't we bash the Cowboys?
Last I checked, the last
Didn't
several
they lose
years.
in the wild card game? You know
Last
what I'm
time that I checked.
saying? Oh my goodness. Well, what's up? What you got, man?
Who, me?
Andy Reid coaching.
Huh?
Andy
Coach,
Reid
say it
coaching his coaching job compared to Kyle Shanahan's coaching job. What you got?
Well, we kind of talked about that last week. I was saying that the way this game is going to go is going to be with coaching. And I figured that Andy Reid will make adjustments, if necessary. I think one of the adjustments that they made, and I don't know if you want to give it to him or like Dre from the Bay and Kurt Murder said, maybe it was Spag. No, it was Spags, as we talked about him. But he was going to bring that pressure. You know what I'm saying? And it's the pressure, man. 2 for 10 on third down. 2 for 10 on third down, man. That's you not moving the ball. You're not giving yourself a chance. And again, I just think that it's so for me, Shanahan is 0-4 in big games for mine with y'all, right? So
Big games.
Sooner or later, it's going to have to start looking at him. You can get us there, but he's 0-4 in big games.
You know Super Bowl?
That's going to have to start. And
I think
I
he's
mentioned that
going
last week.
Super Bowl and NFC Championship.
Championship game.
I think he's going like the last.
Big games.
Yeah.
Last 4. Right.
4 of the last 5
what
years
I'm saying
they've been in
is-
the NFC Championship and or the Super Bowl. So they've
Right,
lost.
right.
They've lost their
And-
last game of the season all 4 times, basically, either
Exactly.
in the NFC Championship or the Super
Yeah.
Bowl. So
that's what I'm referring to. So it's time for him to look himself in the mirror on that end and maybe see what he can tweak. Because the talent is there. You wouldn't get there without, with that. So there's that. And then, like I mentioned last week, and Dre just mentioned it, that window, that's what I was telling y'all last time. I was like, if they don't win now, when are they going to start making those adjustments? Because sooner or later, it's going to be hard to keep cats. Stuff's going to start coming up. But I think overall, Andy Reid and them, they just outcoached them, which I thought that would be the point because both teams were talented. And so it usually comes down to coaching. And for the record, my pick was wrong, but my prediction was right. I said it was going to go down, score a field goal. And then Mahomes is going to bring it down, score, and everybody going to think he's the best in the world. He's a bad dude, man.
That's pretty much how it went.
Yo, Webb, I thought about that, Jordan, actually, when we was watching the game. I was like, Webb was almost spot on with that, He was almost spot on, yo.
Yeah, man.
And the score was almost close. Him and Ed had 28-24. It was almost on it.
Yo.
Almost on it.
Yeah.
Dre
I just figured it'd be coaching, man.
Spencer Burford, the one that missed that block on the goal line.
That's right.
Another play that was big in the fourth quarter, Boza, when he didn't do his containment, it was 4th down. If he could have stayed in his lane instead of crashing in, we didn't have the sack. Game would have been over.
Game over.
Game would have been game over.
See.
But he kept crashing in. Go ahead, Kurt. I'm sorry.
My fault. No, I want to add in on that right there, right? You know what? I was actually just talking to my brother either yesterday or the day before yesterday about that same exact play. But you know what happened? This was like the first time all season, regular season, postseason, Super Bowl, the Chiefs drew up a read option. You never see them draw up no read option. Patrick Mahomes read it boom, and took off. And I was like, you never see that. I think that was one of the biggest game-changing moments right there. And it was on a play that you never see Patrick Mahomes run.
And there's your coaching thing right there.
Yup. I thought about that yesterday, a day before yesterday. I was talking to my brother, and I was kind of mind blown because I don't sit there and watch every Kansas City game, but the games that I do tune into, you never see a read option run play with Patrick Mahomes. You know, you will see the pocket break down, him just get out and go. But that play design was genius. It was genius. They knew y'all were gonna come after him. So feed the belly, take off. What, he picked up like 15 yards or something like that on that play?
Yep. Yeah.
Nobody expected it. Nobody expected it, man.
He did it on a 4th and 1 play too. When Bosa crashed down on that 4th and 1 play.
That's the one. That's
the one he's talking about. Yeah.
Yep, that's the one I'm talking about right there, D-Web. I thought that was just a genius play call because like you never see that from Patrick Mahomes. So that's something that you don't even think is going to be part of their game plan or a play that they're going to run at all. And then in that crucial time, that moment right there, suspended in time, he rolled him, and literally he had no intentions of giving that ball off. He said, put the ball in my hands, I'm going to win this game. Just like you said, D-Web. He's going to win that game. And he took off. One of the slowest, most awkward running quarterbacks in the league. And he picked up 15 to 20 yards and got down out of everybody's way. And I was just like, dang.
He had 9 rushes for 66 yards.
Wow. Hey, man, 9
rushes for 66.
Because
and so 8 of them were scramble plays.
Right. Go ahead.
Talking about that read option, that was so interesting to me. I want to know, did y'all see this part? Now, one, I'm going to say, I thought it was just the design of the play. I never thought he was going to hand it off, but I was like, it was so smooth that I said, I thought it was just a designed run. But the way it worked, it sucked that defensive end in.
Yup.
And what I want to ask y'all, because I wanted to pause the TV, because when I saw it again on the replay, did you see him look over when he realized Mahomes was over there?
Yes, bro.
Like, oh, snap. Like,
you talking about Bosa?
And he was gone for 15. Like I say, it ran so smooth. That particular play ran so smooth that I didn't even realize it was a read option till you just said it, because of the simple fact that I never thought he was going to hand it off, and everybody sucked right in because that's what they have been feeding you. And then it was just wide open. He didn't, like you said, he was floating. He wasn't running for his life. He just floated down the field for 15. I was like, my God, that was a perfectly designed play where they just got suckered. You know what I'm saying? Pure T, bait and switch. That's coaching right there. That play right there, you mentioned that play, I had to jump in there because when I seen him look over like with like a deer in the headlights, like, oh my God, I've been beat. I said, oh man. And then they showed it again. Oh.
I almost threw my phone after that play, but I had to catch myself. But
he had been disciplined all game. He had been their game plan was like, we're not letting him outside the pocket. We're forcing him, and then right there, when a play ends the game, wins you the bowl, he suckered us, and you broke your containment. You let him outside, and I was ready to. I wouldn't like these videos they show in 49 fans busting TVs down. I'm like, it ain't nothing that deep on the sports event that I'm gonna be busting up no TV. Y'all need Jesus something.
Exactly. but you know, Bosa, he do that a lot, man. Detroit game, he did it. Green Bay game, he did it. He been doing it the whole year. He don't stay home.
He don't stay home.
Let me put this out here though. since we fired Wilkes, defensive coordinators is out there. I think this is what I think. You know what I mean? Tell me what y'all think about it. Bill Belichick, one of the best defensive coordinators of all time.
No.
If we put him on that 49ers defense and he be an associated head coach, what you feel about that? I'm just putting it out there.
Yo, you going in you going in the pit right now, see?
I'm in the pit. We got Slim Pickens. We got Slim Pickens right now for defensive coordinator. And guess what? I seen it on the internet earlier. We set up an interview with him next week. Belichick's gonna interview for the DC job. If we get Belichick running that defense, boy, it's gonna be hell to pay.
I want to touch on that too, Dre. Go ahead, Dre. I'm gonna let you jump in. This your team.
Just real quick, just to give some history on the whole Wilkes thing, you know, because I you know, even though I'm here in Atlanta, I still follow, you know, Bay Area media and that type of thing. And one of the things one of these writers was talking about is how the 49ers, this was their first time going outside of the organization. Salah and D'Amico all came through as assistants, and they were part of the 49er culture. They knew. So Wilkes was the first hire outside of the organization. And so him and Shanahan really never fit. And here's what you also got to remember, or not, but think about. Have you heard any of the 49ers defensive players coming in and saying, man, this is jacked up. I can't believe they did this. No. And this is also the third time this brother been fired after 1 year. He was the coach of the Phoenix, Arizona Cardinals, got fired. Last year with Carolina, 1 year, fired. This year, fired. He got fired from Cleveland after a year. So me thinks that the common denominator is brother man. Not that he's not a good coach. I just think he has. I just don't think he has one of those rapports with players. But on the thing about Belichick, I guess I would say that would be great. But my question is, do you think him and Kyle get along? Would they get along?
Hold on, let me back up for a second. He didn't get fired from Carolina. He was defensive coordinator. He got hired because the coach got fired, and he took over as the head coach.
Right.
He just didn't get the job, so he didn't get fired. He didn't.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
He didn't get the job, the head coach job, and so he. Well, technically, could he have gone back to defensive coordinator?
I guess he didn't want it after that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
True. I wouldn't want it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Belichick would keep Shanahan grounded because Shanahan needs somebody to be in his ear to tell him what it is. You know what I mean? Because right now, since Mike McDaniel left to go to Miami, all the offensive placements, Kyle Shanahan. He has nobody he can go to help him call these plays or bounce off the wall with. Belichick,
we talked about that. That McDaniel loss hurt.
Yeah, that hurt. But Belichick got that experience. You know what I mean? So imagine them two minds together in the same locker room. I don't know, man. I think it'd be lovely. I think it'd be lovely. Well, what you think, man? You on mute.
My bad. I think Shanahan is his own problem, man. I think it's just him, man. He's going to have to look at himself in the mirror, man. It's him. We talked about that last week, and I was telling y'all he reminds me of one of those guys that's just arrogant, man. I'm just going to do it my way, and that's what it is. And if we lose, I don't care. I'm gonna keep doing it my way till I win. He just reminds me of one of those guys. I think he's his own problem. You can't question his skills. You can't question what he knows. He knows the X and O's, but he just doesn't have that thing there. Players love him. Yeah. Belichick, I don't know. I think Belichick needs to leave, man. I think he's done.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Needs to leave?
Just quit, man. Just let it go.
You're retired. Get out
I
of
think
here.
he's done. Pete Carroll, Belichick, it's a different game, man. These young kids are not the same. The way to them is not how it used to be, and you just can't tout resume in front of them and think they're gonna listen because, see, back in the day, we didn't have a lot. So you could tout resume because that was something that I wanted from you, right? But these kids have so much coming to them, they don't need you to get money. They don't need you to get famous. So you can't tout resume to them because it's like, whatever. We lose, I'm going to a $15 million house. You know what I'm saying? It's the mindset is different. It's a different thing. So you have to be able to approach them differently. You can't just tout, hey, I've been winning for 40 years. They're going to be like, so? You know, it's a different mindset.
Hey, Lover, what you got?
I think it's too early to be talking about who y'all gonna get for your coach, because I mean it was just last week that y'all was in the Super Bowl and lost. I mean I think you need to waddle in that for a little while.
This dude throwing shots left and right.
No, I'm saying it's
time he bring up.
I'm saying
He said wallow.
Talking about playing in this person. I mean, you just lost. I mean, I think they need to go back to the drawing board, sit down, have a real heart to heart, look at some plays, look at some decisions, and go over it. Throwing somebody new in the mix, and we're gonna Belichick can take us to the top. Y'all was at the top. You just didn't win. I mean, it's gonna take some small tweaking. I don't know. Nah, I mean, I don't think I'm not as far as the coaching go. I mean, he did get y'all there. He just didn't win. And that's how it goes. A few plays here, a few plays there. They're gonna match you up. They're always gonna compare you to somebody. Always gonna say, well, this person would have did this, and if we'd have had that. I mean, this is the guy that was there. He just, his players and him couldn't get it together at the very end, So I don't know if sitting and putting Belichick in there. Well, now I will say this, that to your point, those are two strong personalities. And when you put two strong personalities together, it's like you got leaders and you got leaders. Everybody know how to lead, but before you can lead, you got to know how to follow. And right. I don't know that one of them with those egos will be willing to take that back seat. You know what I'm saying? And say, hey, we can work together. I feel like it's like this is my team now. And so that would create a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like you said. So I don't know if Belichick would be the answer. I'm about like Dean. I would like him to keep coaching because it's not a physical sport. At some point, you got to hang the physical sport up because you're tarnishing your legacy. It's not physical. I'm talking about as far as coaching, and I like his brain. He's a chess player, but like you said, it's a new wave of people. I would love to see him keep coaching, but I don't know that he would go to the 49ers and if he go to the 49ers, I feel like he's going to want to bring his whole staff with him. Get everybody out of there. Let him start over. That's what I think.
Well, not being a defensive coordinator, he can't bring his staff. I don't think that's going to be an option. But
well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he should be in there. I think he put him in charge or don't is what I'm saying.
Pete Carroll same way.
And defensive Wilkes, his defense was better than DeMarco Ryan's defense last year, stat-wise. He had better stats.
Except against the run. They now I have to get
a couple yards.
Yeah, but I heard they were like 26th against the run this year.
Yeah.
And that's always been. Now, part of that, which a lot of people forget, and I did too, part of that is Hufanga. He was bringing heat from the safety position on run support, and you lost him early in the season, and I think that also affected their run defense. Even though Brown and Logan were better pass defense wise, Hufanga hurt them against the run. Yeah. But then again, it's also who did you play? Your numbers look great, but how many great quarterbacks did they play this season? I think a lot of people looked at the Dallas beat down, the Eagles beat down. Sorry, Ed Love.
Don't apologize. I don't need to apologize.
And we put a lot of stock into those, but we found out both of them teams was frauds. because the Eagles ain't, the Eagles beating the Eagles. I gotta, see, bro, I gotta get something back on that love, he been twisting the knife, in my gut for the last half hour, but the Eagles win ain't as big as it looked at the time. The Cowboys beat down isn't as good as it looked at the time, because when you look at it, the defense. To me, my eye test never felt like this defense was on the level it was last year or the year before. That's just me. It just never. I never was. You said. I think somebody said earlier, and this speaks volumes. Somebody said, I think it was it. Is that it didn't matter which way you chose because the Chiefs were gonna march the ball down the field for a touchdown anyway. Well, what is that saying about your defense? If you're saying that, okay, we can't stop them. So I don't care who, Joe Montana, John Elway, Dan Marino, whomever. I don't care who quarterback. You don't tell me, is my defense that? If you got supposedly this great defense, you should be able to have confidence that your defense can stop that other offense. And if that's not and if you can't, then that's the issue. But yeah, I don't know how I got off on this tangent. Let me jump off because I don't know where I'm even going. Kurt Murder, you ain't jumped in yet.
I don't know about that one.
I got one for you, right? So like the whole Belichick thing, man. Like I don't agree with bringing in Belichick. I didn't agree with y'all firing Steve Wilkes. I just thought that the San Fran 49ers defense were top 10 in the league, right? He didn't deserve to be fired. He took y'all to the Super Bowl and they lost the game. My thing is, when does it become player personnel, right? The defensive coordinator only can draw up the plays. You know what I mean? Like he only can draw up the plays, and there not one time have any one of us on this podcast said during that Super Bowl that those were terrible defensive calls. Not one time, right? We said of players either missing assignments or, stuff like that. So when at what point do we start leaning in more on player personnel? Because it's always the firing of the head coach and the OCs and all this. But I thought that was a terrible firing for the 49ers. And I'm glad we brought that up. I just thought it was a terrible firing. Especially after 1 year?
Right.
1 year, man. Like, and he took y'all to the Super Bowl, top 10 defense, and you fired him? Oh, that's like the Bucks head coach. They was on a heck of a win streak, right? Like 30 something and whatever, and they fire you? Like what? Like,
he did enough to coach the All-Star game and still got fired.
Come on, don't make any sense, right?
Doc Rivers won one game. Doc Rivers won one game.
One game.
He won enough games to win the leading coach the All-Star game, but he got fired. Come on,
right? Man, that was Giannis, right? Giannis had something to do with that.
Yeah, they said that.
Giannis.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Real quick, Kirk, though, you saying no calls. That overtime, I'm taxing his play calling. Remember.
But watch this, though, Dre.
But remember, Shanahan had to call a timeout because there was that one play, where they blitzed, and it's like, why are you blitzing? Because everybody was like, okay, they're just showing it. They're going to back out of it. And they never did. And they ended up giving up about 12-yard play or something like that. And then he was getting ready to run it again. And Shanahan's like, no, hold on. Hell no. You ain't, stop. And I think that partly was it.
So
now, for the most part, his
now watch this though, Dre.
plays were good.
Watch this though, Dre. I commend y'all because y'all did something that a lot of teams could not do. Y'all stuck with that zone defense for a long time, and y'all had success for a long time. But then he started picking y'all apart. Right. At what point do you send the blitz? I don't care if I send it 2 times back to back. If one of them get to him, you know what I mean? Like, it was a successful blitz. So that's what I'm saying. I didn't see a bad, right? You know, I think back to
speed the play up.
Yeah. Right. I think so. What I think back a lot to like Baltimore Ravens, because you know I follow everything Baltimore Ravens, coaching staff, everything. The year when we fired Wink Martindale, I think that was the worst decision that the Baltimore Ravens did, because they fired Wink Martindale, and he had, I think this was right after the 49ers. The 49ers had like 15 injuries or something like that, season high injuries. Baltimore Ravens had 12 or 13 season high injury, and they fired this guy, and we still made it to the playoffs, right? Defensive side of the ball, we had majority of our stars injured. So I think back to all of that, and I say like, I think that firing for Steve Wilks was the same caliber firing with Wink Martindale. Terrible firing, and if y'all don't find somebody, definitely not Belichick. Either y'all gonna promote within, or y'all gonna go to college and y'all gonna grab somebody. I think that would probably be a good look, you know what I mean? But I did not like that firing. I thought that firing was like terrible, man. I was like, dang, they fired the boy? Like, you know what I mean? Get rid of some of them players that you got over there. You know what I mean? Put them, which is definitely gonna happen because y'all gotta free up some cap, but that's gonna be interesting too. So I know we got that on the topic, so we'll dive deep into that later on.
That was a scapegoat move, man. You know,
and I thought it was horrible.
Yeah, I don't think he deserved to be fired, but guess what? Ownership, John Lynch, they know what it is. So Kyle Shanahan chose to fire Wilks, so the pressure's on him now. You know, you got to produce. So the next firing gonna be Kyle Shanahan. If you don't,
that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, that's all. That's all it is.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
So do we think it's Super Bowl or bust for him, or Super Bowl or out?
Yeah,
has to be.
San Francisco, man. You know, they don't. You know, when you've won 5 Super Bowls, there's no moral victory type stuff. It's Super Bowl or bust. I mean, people have been talking about firing Shanahan for years because he can't get over the hump. But it's hard to fire a guy that's been to 4 NFC championships and 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years. But yeah, I think Masibo just made a great point. Now, what's going to be your excuse? Mm-hmm. You know, I don't necessarily feel that they scapegoated Wilks, because I think he was going to get fired win or lose, because I just don't think they ever gelled. And like I said, I'm waiting for the first defensive player to come out and say, dang, I was messed up. They haven't. So it leads me to believe there was something in the background, but I just think that he's now on the clock, as they say, you know, and I think he's going to be gone, because I don't know. You're asking a lot. First of all, Greenlaw is out until November. You know, he just had surgery 2 days ago for Achilles. Unless he can find that Aaron Rodgers hookup, you know, I just don't, you know, when is he going to be ready to play? And is he going to come back the way he was? So now it's just hard, like we just talked about. It's hard to repeat. And so, and now his only up is to win a Super Bowl. So I think he's probably got a year or 2 left, and he's gonna be gone. And maybe that may be a good thing, a change of scenery for him, and you know, a new voice for the 49ers. I don't know.
Dre from the Bay, Alshire, they went to Houston.
I heard he may come back. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, he was balling. He was the backup to Greenlaw the whole time when Greenlaw was hurt. So
he's nice player.
A power move. That'd be a power move for us. But look, let's jump into this All-Star weekend real quick. Anybody see the games last night, the Rising Star games?
Yeah, I watched them.
I watched
Jalen,
a couple of them.
Tamika Catchings, Paul Gasol, Dylan Shrimp. Y'all see all that?
Yeah, I
Nah,
watched
not over here.
I didn't catch it. I
Jalen
saw
Rose team
highlights.
Yeah, it was pretty good. We got the skills challenge today. 3 teams. We got the team All Stars, Scotty Barnes, Tyrese Maxey, Trey Young and team going against Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner. Then you got top picks: Anthony Edwards, Paolo, Victor Wembanyama. Yeah, that first night. Yeah, that's gonna be challenging. 3-point contest: Malik Beasley, Damian Lillard, Kyle Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton, Donovan Mitchell, Trey Young. Then we got the slam dunk contest, which is going to be the main event to me. You got Matt McClung coming back. You got Jacob Toppin, Jamie Jaquez, and Jaylen Brown put his name in the hat. That's going to be interesting.
Hey,
And then
can
we
I
got
say something about that dunk contest, man?
Yeah, go ahead.
Check this out, man. Look, I'm not taking nothing from the dude, Matt McClung, but he's not even in the
Georgetown, baby.
league. Huh?
Georgetown, baby. Put some respect on his name. It's Georgetown.
Okay. I'm not taking nothing from the dude that ain't in the league. I don't care where he's from. He ain't even in the league. Right? He in the G League, right? So what I'm saying is everybody in the league should be ashamed that you got players that's gonna let a dude that's in the G League come in and win the slam dunk contest. And he did some phenomenal stuff. But they got guys in one that can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Including LeBron James too. He's been trying to get in for years.
Old, but he missed his time.
He's been saying he gonna get in the dunk contest for years.
LeBron 39. See,
too much pressure on him, man. Too much pressure on him.
Well, you know what? I tell you what. Now I've been real nice to you today, man. You tell God lose the Super Bowl, man. you and Trey,
real nice to you,
man. I've been real cool with y'all, man.
Hey, man.
We're gonna park that for another time.
Also, Steph Curry going against Sabrina, a 3-point contest. The girl from the WNBA. So it's gonna be interesting. Any thoughts on it?
Ain't he supposed to be shooting against that girl, the lady?
Yeah, right? Sabrina. Yeah.
There's shaky people in that 3-point competition.
I like Dame Lillard.
I like Dame too. I'll go on record. I like Dame in that.
Dame or Trey, I
you know who the defending champions, right?
Cat's the defending champion.
Yeah. Right.
I thought Dame Lillard was the defending champion.
No.
Kyle Anthony Towns won last year.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay.
But some of those guys are like D Mitch. He's a streak guy. He's a streak shooter. I don't know if he need Brunson, same thing. Brunson has never struck me as knockdown 3-point shooter. This ain't Craig Hodges versus Reggie Miller type stuff. There's a lot of guys that can shoot threes, but they not. It's like this. If Steph said, you know what, I think I'll jump in, it's a wrap, because you know what I mean. Or even, not Clay no more. Clay is so. Whew. But it should be interesting.
I'm going with Trey Young, man. I'm gonna go with Trey Young.
That's what I'm going with.
That's a good pick.
It's not bad.
I think the dunk contest is gonna come down to Jaylen Brown and Matt McClung. But McClung said he had some time to prepare. Last time it was just last second. He just came up with those dunks. So he said he got a lot.
Ain't nobody got to stand a chance against that boy, man.
I know.
What's up with Ja Morant, man?
Oh, he injured. He out for the season.
Oh, is he?
His arm in the sling. His arm in the sling.
Oh, okay.
Because he would
Ja Morant
he would be nice.
Contest.
Oh yeah.
What about the dude named what's the guy's name? Is it Dennis Smith Jr. or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He got
He's
hot.
old.
Fayetteville.
He
He's
got
old
crazy
now,
hot.
man.
Yeah, he old
Yeah.
now too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Toppin has some hops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Toppin's got some hops.
Mm.
His
Give him
brother's
that.
in it.
That's his brother. Yeah. Mhm.
Toppin's brother's in it. Yeah,
Yeah. It's
Oh,
gonna be
this
interesting.
is his brother. This is not.
that's
Yeah.
his brother.
Okay.
I just don't see much out of Jaylen Brown, man. Like I don't know, like creativity wise, like what he can
Right.
bring. You know what I mean, to the dunk contest. But I do commend him for throwing his name in the hat, being one of the biggest stars as of
Yeah.
late, to be able to, you know, get on that stage and be able to perform. But I my thing with the NBA All-Star game, man, like it's on the NFL actually did really well this year. Really well this year. And they had to because that crap was dead. Wasn't watching that crap. I still didn't even watch it, but I watched some of the highlights, right? The skills challenge and stuff like that. I think the NBA has to do something different, man. Especially definitely get rid of that All-Star game. Those guys don't play. That's one of the worst games to watch. I did watch the celebrity game last night. None, not at all, man. I did watch the celebrity game last night. I really liked what they did with the floor. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like
The
NBA
fire and
jams
everything.
type
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was actually pretty cool, man. But man, I think the All-Star weekend for the NBA is just dead. Outside of the 3-point contest, skills contest, and dunk contest, like nobody cares about it. Nobody cares about it at all. Highlight for me would be so I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna make my pick real quick, and I'm just gonna do it for the 3-point contest and the dunk contest. I'm taking Dame Lillard, and I'm gonna take him with 31. He gonna try 31 buckets out there. That's the winner right there, 31 buckets. And then I like Mike, man. Mac. I like Mac, man. Like man, the thing that boy did last year, man, I was blown away.
Amazing.
And I got to see who's gonna be able to take it away from him. So I'm going with him again this year.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He kind of short too, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
6'1".
And that's always a win. That's like Spud Webb and D Brown. When you're not 6'8", 6'9", and because it just looks, to the eye, you're seeing, man, this dude's feet is like 5 feet off the ground and he's doing dunks. Do you guys? I mean, do you guys think that the dunk contest has kind of run its course?
I think
Because
so, man.
I mean, to me, the last great one was, I want to say it was Gordon and Levine.
Well, from Chicago. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the last good one.
Yeah.
They were putting in work. Now that was a dunk contest. I just think now, and K. Murray made a good point with Jaylen Brown. Now you got a bunch of guys that ain't no stars that's in it, and we're all from the era of Dominique Jordan, you know what I'm saying? Kenny Skywalker, who wasn't no star, but at least, you know what I mean? You had guys that were actual starters and ballers in the league that were in the dunk contest. Now, like D Webb just said, you got a dude from the G League. He ain't good enough to make the league, but he can come in and win the dunk contest. What's that say for your league or at least who's in the competition? So I don't know, man. The 3-point contest to me has now overtaken the dunk as the premier event, in my opinion, just because, like, look at you got, the roster, Dame, Brunson, Halliburton, Trey. You got top players in the league that are in that, whereas these other, that dunk is like I didn't realize that wasn't Top. I didn't realize that was Toppin's brother, now that's on me because, I'm like somebody said earlier, I don't, my basketball don't kick in until after the Super Bowl. Unless my team is out. And like this year, since my team was in, now it's basketball mode for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ed, love what you got, Ed.
Well, I was just gonna piggyback off of what y'all was talking about as far as the dunk contest. I think I agree it ain't as good anymore. But you still watch for the nostalgia of what you've seen. It's like that high. You still chasing that Jordan Dominique. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe this year. You know what I'm saying? So I still watch it. Also with a level of disappointment. You know what I'm saying? It's just what happens. However, going back to being a short guy, so therefore relating kind of like when Webb did last week, when Webb was like, if I was tall, I would have been in the NBA. I'm gonna scoot over to that. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about watching Spud Webb and them short guys dunk, I'm glad your boy in it from the G League. Although I agree with y'all, I'm glad he in it for the simple fact to see somebody dunk like that, to get off the ground, defy gravity. That's what I think like got us with Jordan's dunks. Even though they used to slow his dunks down, so he can hang a little longer. But the thing about it, the way he got up and looked like he defying gravity, when Spud Webb used to jump up there and dunk,
what's the guy
Robinson,
Nate Robinson.
Nate Robinson.
Yeah, like people like that. When you see them, Muggsy, that's who I was looking for. But when you see them get down like that, it's like a freak of nature. You know what I'm saying? So it does look better. However, I agree with you. It's like every year you chasing that to see what's going to happen. Jaylen Brown is really athletic. He's very athletic, although he's hit or miss. I'm anxious to see how many dunks he gonna miss. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how he.
I think he gonna surprise y'all.
He got some dunks.
Surprise y'all.
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, I hope it's entertaining. Because I think we got away from that. The era of the dunk contest that I didn't like I love the Jordan and Dominique era. Even though I'm gonna say I think Dominique won, but they gave it to Jordan because he was in Chicago. But I think Dominique won that. However, the era of the dunk contest I did not like.
Dwight Howard.
Hold on. Let me back up real quick. My point was your boy. I watched the game the other night. Your boy from the Spurs, 7-3.
Victor Wembanyama.
Oh man.
Get that joint together, Adley. Let's go.
We lost him. He was just getting ready to kick ballistic.
D-Web, go ahead. Pull up some. D-Web.
I like I said, I like Dame, and I like the D-League cat. But I just wanted to say, man, that I think that you had LeBron and them, they missed their shot, man. And I feel like they owed it to the league. That's what I think.
All the greats did it. Kobe did it. Yeah. Mike did it. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they owed it to the league, man. They're not even offering you any reasons why. I mean, all the stuff that they do off the court and everything they do, you've been dunking since you was probably in 8th grade, man. You ain't got to necessarily think about risking injury like that, man. I just think they owe it to the league, especially and Ja, man. I mean, I know you say he hurt, but he said he wasn't gonna do it anyway. Ja said he wasn't gonna do it.
I'll tell you one time we went on record saying he was going to do it. Then he said he wasn't going to do it. The one going to do it. Yeah.
He shouldn't even be having that conversation about not going to do it.
You know who should be in it? That boy from Houston, Jalen Green. I don't know if y'all seen that dunk last week when he went down from the right side of the court. I think was it against Milwaukee? It was against somebody good. I forgot who was guarding him. And he left-handed. And he went up. I'm talking about. I almost tore the rim off. It's a little slim guy.
Right.
He about 6'4", 6'5".
Probably 6'4", 6'5". Yeah.
You know who could probably? I don't know what kind of artistic stuff he had, but Kuminga has a lot of hops, and I don't know if, like I said, what he has in
Creativity,
his
though.
bag.
Yeah.
That was what I was looking for. Thank
Yeah.
you, sir. I couldn't. That was what I was looking for. I don't know about his creativity. But he has a lot of hops, you know. But hops is not just it. So yeah. Oh, your boy is back.
Hey, Lover, what's up, man?
Yeah,
Welcome back.
man. Webb done rubbed that technical difficulties off on me.
Man, I'm trying to get rid of it, dude.
It's crazy. The two people that pick Kansas City keep losing internet. Ain't
Yeah,
that
Right.
I need to check.
I think you got
Yeah.
something to do with it.
I need to file a grievance.
Back there hitting the switch.
I'll agree.
My
Yeah, they need to file a grievance, Kid Murder.
that cash app I sent to the it went through to your web technicians. I was like, man, cut them off every time they start to get into.
What he say? What he say? Michael said, yeah, cut Hammer shit off.
Yo.
Nah, but man, what I was saying though, the point I was making with the dunk contest was watching your boy last night. I forgot his name. 7-3 play for the Spurs. They started. New star they got.
Victor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Portiyamo. Right. Watching him, they threw him an alley-oop last night. Like they just threw it up to him. And I'm talking about when he grabbed it and put it in, there was no you had to look at it 2 or 3 times. There was no flair to it. He's too tall. So my point with the dunk contest, like the more of a feat it is for you to get up there and get funky, it's more of a show. Like watching him dunk. Now, one thing I will say about that cat, he gonna be nice in a few years. His moves, he gonna be nice. He need to put on a good
20.
30.
20,
I
30 now.
want him to put a good 20 on. I want him to put a good solid 20 on, straight muscle. I mean, hopefully that can happen. And he gonna be nice because he ain't doing nothing but getting better. But watching him dunk is not entertaining. I'll put it that way. He don't never need to be in the dunk contest. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
He needs
Somebody short in there.
He need to hurry up though, man, because unfortunately, a lot of big men have bad feet, and
Right.
you know they don't. I'm talking 5 years tops. Unfortunately, it's just what it is. They, for whatever reason, they have bad feet and they don't last long, man.
You said what? You said for whatever reason they have bad feet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I'm saying why all tall guys. I don't know what the reason. I'm saying I don't know why everybody who's tall got bad feet.
Yeah, that's true because it's not normal to be that tall. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
They carrying around all that weight with them long skis.
Yeah.
Just 24, 25 inch feet. Yeah, that's a lot. You know what I mean?
Yo, Ed Lee, you said there was an era of the dunk contest you did not like. What started that era for you?
The Dwight, that Cape era.
That was mine too.
That era, man. I was just like, yo, like what? And like, is this? Are we at the circus? You like what's going on?
Yeah. Yo, you remember? I think one of the dunk contests.
Go ahead.
Keep going now. But you remember one of them? Somebody came out with some Timbs on, and I was like, "What the heck?" And it was
for the Knicks.
It was ruined, yo. And I totally agree with you. That era of Dwight Howard ruined. The dunk contest.
Was that the? What about like was that the Blake Griffin jumping over cars?
The Kia.
I think I was right.
Kia.
I think Blake Griffin had came right before that era. But Blake. So Blake probably started it too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And didn't it? Wasn't so? I think you said Jalen Green too, right? Wasn't he in a dunk contest a few years ago when he blew out a candle off of the?
Oh, cupcake. He had a cupcake.
He blew up.
Yeah.
Like they just started doing too much, man.
Yeah,
I was like,
no athletic ability.
Yeah,
right.
All that theatrics, but that's a good call.
That kind of brings up the point. I think Ed said it or either Murder. Is it really time to get rid of it? I mean, what else are they to do? What else are they to do?
Yo, I've been on record saying that for the last few years. Where man, I think it's actually time. And up until last year, me and my wife and like my friends, we stopped watching the dunk contest.
I don't watch
because it was just I would watch the highlights, but I'm not watching the dunk contest no more because it was, to me, it became trash. You know, so I just think it's like we gotta get rid of it. Put something else in this place. You know what I mean?
You remember? Y'all remember? I know y'all old enough to remember that they used to wouldn't even show the dunk contest. They would show you who won at halftime of the All-Star game. You know, the dunk contest it wasn't even being televised. They would just show you
most of that stuff really wasn't televised.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's just I don't know what else they can do, man. They went around the back under their legs. I mean, I don't know what else they can do.
Right.
I think that's before my time, Webb. I don't recall that, Webb.
Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna blame you for that, man. That's your fault.
Yeah, you know what a good replacement would be for that though? Like you get you a freaking 2-on-2, right? You pick up 2 players and y'all play the 5 or play the 7, right? You and somebody else, Durant and LeBron James against Steph Curry and Draymond or somebody. You know, it's only 10 teams, you know, and you play the 5 or you play the 7 and you go out like that. I think that would be much more entertaining and competitive than that dunk contest. The dunk contest.
One-on-one. I agree 100%.
I would love to see the one-on-one.
But they wouldn't do it.
They won't do that. No, sir.
Because as soon as somebody get embarrassed by it, it's gonna be like, oh no, yeah,
he ain't him. Oh, he ain't him.
I think the only way you can save it is if you have a Ja be in it. You know, you get you some star players to return back, and then you tell them, look, it's straight dunk, no props, no gimmicks, just you put you on some sneakers and your uniform and get out there and dunk this ball. And if you do it like that with some star quality players, or at least somebody, you know, then I think that's the only way it's going to really come back. Because I think a lot of people have said it. You know, it's the least thing I look forward to watching. I may watch for a minute, and then after somebody misses 3 dunks in a row and keeps getting, I'm like, okay, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
Click. What's you know? New Jack City's on BET. Okay, let me flick over here. You know,
right?
It's just.
Yo, but Dre, like D Webb said though, man, like if we looking at, I don't want all the props either, right? The props kind of is like drags it out, but like, what more can you do from a dunking, right? You done did everything. You done windmill. You done put it behind your back. You done Dwight Howard done pity patted off the backboard.
Right.
Vince Carter done stuck his arm. We done seen it all. Right. Great dunks.
So you just brought up them Vince Carter.
The Vince Carter, the unnatural 360 was unreal, right? That was crazy. But we done seen it all. Like, now what else you gonna do? Like, what you gonna show me?
But it was Vince Carter, and he was a star. And so I think the star quality is the only thing that can save it, because you've seen it before, but it's stars, you know. And I think that's, but you know, if they decided to say we're gonna scrap it, I wouldn't shed no tears.
Right.
Yeah.
And real quick, I think that's the thing that's missing. What I don't like, because me and C argue all the time about LeBron and Jordan. I'm sure that's gonna come up sometime this year. The one thing I don't really like about this group of guys is they are so worried about their brand. And the older guys didn't do that, you know, but these guys have a brand already. And so they don't want their brand to get hurt. So any situation they think can hurt their brand is going to affect their money. They're not going to do it. And that's
social
a problem.
media killing it.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Social media, man.
That's a great point right there. Yeah. That's a great point.
They don't want to hurt their brand, man, you know.
But fellas, I appreciate y'all coming out to the open pit. We won't be on next week, 24th. We'll be back on March 2nd. Ready to rock and roll, NBA in full swing. Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
But y'all be
Mm-hmm.
safe.
I
appreciate y'all, man.
Got my bottle of water.
All right, brothers.
Appreciate y'all, man.
That was great.
Y'all be blessed.
You too, brother. Thank y'all.